Hello, everyone. We're beginning now the Novena to the Immaculate Conception, this journey together with the Blessed Virgin Mary over 9 days, leading up to the feast on December 9th, Monday, December 9th. Normally, this feast would be falling on December 8th. That's a typical day, but whenever a major feast falls on a Sunday, because Sunday is so important, the feast gets moved to the side so we can give Sunday its due, and then we'll celebrate with all reverence and joy the Immaculate Conception on the 9th. Same thing happens with the Feast of the Assumption. Same thing happens with the Annunciation, things like that. So this is not in any way, what this is an elevation of Sundays and not a degradation of these other feast days. So we'll be praying each day, and the real core of what this novena is for each of you to pray the prayers of the novena. And so you'll see that up in the community notes, or excuse me, in the chat information. If you open that up, and you can see links for each day, and that takes you to a website with EWTN, and there's the prayer that you go through. Now they all look similar, but it's the second paragraph that's different each day. And so maybe on some of the days we'll unpack that. Some of the days we'll leave you to discover, see what's different, and also to open up whatever is being emphasized in that second paragraph, and pray about that, meditate on that, contemplate that, take that into your conversation with the Blessed Virgin Mary. Now, there's a spot 2/3 of the way down in each of the days in that novena online where you insert your intention. There's different ways you can do that. You could have a different intention each day, and that would work. Most common would probably be to have a single intention that you're sustaining through the whole time, something that's dear to your heart. Now, it can be something that you're asking for yourself. That's 100% appropriate. Don't feel like you're being selfish, because that's our Lord asks us to do that. He encourages us to pray for our needs and give us, Lord, this day our daily bread. So as you pray for something for yourself, you're totally in line. You're not doing something that's spiritually selfish. It could be a spiritual need that you have. It could be a grace that you're seeking. It could be work related, relationship related. It could be something just growth in your spiritual life. Any number of different things. Now you can also pray for, have an intention be for someone that's dear to you, or family members and other relatives that need prayers, and offer the novena for them. You could also, and thirdly, just have it be for any kind of a situation worldwide, something in the church, a concern, some kind of a movement that's dear to your heart, that you want to pray for. Go ahead and do that. So that's the bulk of the novena, to do that each day. Now, in these videos here, this is an extra. Maybe it can be helpful for you. Maybe if it's not, don't worry about it. Just focus on the novena. But what I'll be doing here is unpacking just a little bit of what the Immaculate Conception means and what it's about. Where did this come from? Why do we celebrate this? The Immaculate Conception, while it was only defined as a doctrine in 1854, 1,800 years after our Lord's birth, the roots of this go all the way back to the beginning in the early church. Now, it actually goes even back further than that, because like the Blessed Virgin Mary, obviously she was born just a little bit before our Lord was, a number of years. Was it 14, 15, 16? We're not quite sure. But the actual origin of the doctrine goes all the way back to the very beginning. And there's this curious scene there where we see where Adam and Eve are there in the garden. They've just sinned, the original sin, the first sin. Their intellect has just been darkened. There's this rupture. Their will has been distorted. This rupture in the relationship with God, this damaged relationship there, and with each other and with the rest of the creation. And our Lord is there. God the Father is there. So what have you done? There's this great tragedy that's taken place. And while he's explained to them, okay, well, because you've done this, this is what's got to happen. This is the damage that you've done to yourselves. This labor as you work. Work used to be a joy, this creative thing, but now there's this laborious element to the sweat of his brow that Adam will be working. And for Eve too, this labor in childbearing, this pain in giving birth. But there's a promise that's attached to it as well, which ties into the Immaculate Conception. And that is that when referring to the serpent, he says that her offspring will crush your head. Okay, that first of all, it's her offspring, not his offspring. So he's not referring to Adam, he's referring to Eve, or not referring to both of them, but to Eve. And so there's already a foreshadowing of the virgin birth of our Lord. Because who's the one that's really going to crush the head? Who is the offspring? Well, it's our Lord Jesus Christ. But he's speaking to the Blessed Virgin Mary, speaking to Eve. Now, Eve is fallen, and so there's a specific thing that's happening here. If it's going to be her, this enmity that's going to be, there will be enmity between you and the serpent. Well, it's obviously not Eve, because Eve just got was completely compromised by the serpent and gave in. Whereas somebody, and that's not enmity. Enmity is where there's complete contrariness. There's nothing in common between the two. And there's this great distance. We could unpack the Greek, but we'll do that maybe some other time. But this separation, there's nothing. It's like oil and water. There's complete separation between the two. Already at the very beginning of the book of Genesis, we're having a hint as to what the Immaculate Conception is going to be about and why it's going to be through her that the devil will be completely trounced, his head will be crushed. So often we see in imagery, the Blessed Virgin Mary, the Immaculate Conception particularly, we'll see an image of Mary, calm and collected, sort of like you see in the image back here, just looking up with joy, with the greatest peace, greatest recollection. And down under her foot, there's the serpent being crushed, his head squirming, wriggling around, and being absolutely destroyed with this greatest ease, without even trying. It just like takes one step forward and boom, done. That is what the grace that Mary has received, that there is all evil is trampled under her through the graces given to her by our Lord Jesus Christ. And it's the same grace that he wants to give to each one of us, to restore us to that original innocence and original purity that Eve had, and what he gave to Mary in the Immaculate Conception. Okay, that's pretty dense right there, but we're going to spend time unpacking that. But what I'd ask you all to do, lastly, is pray for each other throughout this whole novena, so that it's not just your own intention, but include the intentions of everybody else that's participating in this novena. God bless you, and we'll see you tomorrow.